and welcome back to Bunters. This is just a quick assembly guide for the Alexandra canopies, like the Victorian style canopies, and this is what it could look like when it's finished. Does include the platform, obviously. That's an optional extra. This one's got the clear roof, and I fitted the end valance in on as well. They're an option if you're doing a longer run. Also comes with a frosted glass roof or a solid roof as well. So, but they all assemble exactly the same. You may just need to use a different glue if you're using the solid roof, but we'll get to that in a bit. So in the pack is all of these pieces here. Let's grab them out. And there's a tiny bag in there with some feet. They're there. So there's 5 in there, one for each of the supports, just to give it a bit more stability, so you can fit it on your platform and sort of glue it into place. Just makes it a bit easier, a bit more of a larger surface area to glue to. So we've got our valances cut from our thin card. They're etched on one side. The end pieces, again, I say they're optional. If you're doing a longer run, then you'll just omit those parts. And then we've got 5 of these. Kind of, are they Victorian style? But they're of that sort of era, aren't they? But in fairness, still see those quite often on a lot of railways at the moment. So a lot of stations still have those older style canopies. So if you're doing, if you're joining the one canopy to another, the end pieces will butt together and give a similar effect. So we're going to use CA glue. That's just super glue. We put it into our little bottle. It's easy with that nozzle. Just make sure you mark your bottle with what's in it. Don't mistake it for water. You can use rocket glue, as you've seen there, and we're going to use super glue activator as well. Just makes the super go off ever so quickly, but it is super quick. But it just makes the whole process a little bit quicker for me when we're doing these videos. You may want to use, like I say, rocket glue or PVA, whatever your go-to glue is for these. So these fit together in this sort of fashion. You can see how it goes. The sort of keyways, the little sort of keys will fit into the holes. We'll do one at a time. Just makes it a bit simpler. I'll give it a little blast of the activator, and then we'll quickly fit that into there. As you can see, if you hold it tightly, it will go square because they're cut in a particular way. And then we're going to do the same on the other end, and then we're going to go the whole length, fitting these 4 pieces in between the 5 main uprights. If you use the super glue with the activator, just make sure you do it really quick. You need to make sure you know where it's going to fit, because once it goes, it's really quick. So there, we've fitted all the pieces and the end piece as well, and that's the sort of full length now, 220 millimeters of the canopy. And we need to fit the little feet at the bottom. So this just, like I say, gives us an extra surface area to glue to. They probably won't freestand because they're obviously quite top heavy, so you need to glue them to your platform. So that bit goes in there, as you see. It's tricky to do from the angle we're working on with the camera. Normally you can get it in first time. It's quite a snug fit, but it does go in there, and it will, or it should go flush. Once they're done, we need to fit this this particular this bar that holds a valance on. It's just the back end for the valance. I hold it everything square. I would have probably at this point paint the all the supports and possibly this valance rail as well. This sort of backing rail for the valance. Entirely up to you what colour you want that to be. Whether you want it to be the same colour as the supports, or of the valance in itself. Entirely up to you. So the particular way I've found to fit these which works better for me, rather than gluing everyone all at once and then just trying to rush in to get them all fitted. Is just do the middle one and then sort of work out from end to end, and you can just fit one at a time. Just glue one, bit of CA, bit of activator. If you're using super glue, if you want to. That's it. Then when we've done both sides, we can move on to the next section. At this point, it's fairly rigid, so it's quite easy to handle. So the roof sections. So on this particular one, we're doing the clear glass version, and it comes with a clear glass piece, the pre-cut acetate, and also the frame. And we're going to fit this using glue and glaze. And good thing about this, better than sort of super glue and any other glue, is that once it's dry, if you've got any little smears, you can clean them off. And I'll show you that in a second. So we're just going to really go along the edges here. This does come out really quick if you're not careful. Just have a little practice before you do this. Sometimes there's other brands of this. They just call it Canopy glue. So if you're a model maker, like making cockpits and stuff for aircraft, it's quite good for that. And so it will wash off once it's reactivated with a bit of water. So we're going to put the acetate on there. The acetate is very slightly smaller than the piece we're fitting it onto, just give you a little bit of wiggle room. And you can see I've left a bit there, and it's not quite dry. It does go completely clear when it's dry, just to make it easier to see. We can just clean that with a bit of water. If it is dry, you need to just wet it with water just a little bit, and give it a second, and then it will come off like a sort of rubber effect, really. So the canopies. So there's the two of these end valances, and then the long sort of, are they called daggers? I'm not sure what that design called. I'm sure it's got a proper name. I would paint those before I fit those, so just pop them to one side, and then we go into fit the frame. Obviously the frame, I'd suggest you paint that, of course, before you fit the glass. So at the top of the sort of the apex of the supports, there's a little step. You'll see that when you have yours in your hand. The whole of the glass roof needs to go sort of underneath that little step, but that just leaves a little bit on top, though, where you can fit the sort of top capping sort of thing. Now the glass sections, they're not sided, so they can go either way up, back to front, upside down. They should be pretty identical whichever way you fit those. Fit them in and just make sure they sort of marry up with the ends of that sort of valance backing, because you'll need them square if you're going to marry them up with other pieces in the longer run. And we give it a little activator, and we'll give that a second to set, and then we can move on. So the top is kind of a capping or a walk board or whatever it might be. It's etched on one side with just like lines to make it like a little plank effect, or blank on the other side if you want something totally different. Entirely up to you. And you just need a dab of glue on each of the top of the supports, just at the apex there. And then again, make sure it's all lined up nicely at each end. And then as soon as the glue's gone off, we're good to go. I would probably not use super glue for that bit, just to make sure you line it up. Use maybe like a PVA or rocket glue. It gives you a bit of time just to make sure it's nice and square. So for the valances, there's two of these. They are etched on one side, so they are kind of sided. You know, there's the front and the back, but they can go on either side of the canopy. They're exactly the same. Personally, I found that it's best to just glue one end in and make sure that's all nicely lined up. And then we can move along and glue as we go, glue a section at a time, or just run the whole distance, whatever you prefer to do. So once you've fitted both sides into place, both of the side valances, the last part as an option would be the end valances. They'll just glue into place there. You can see where they go. If you're doing a longer run, you would you'd not necessarily fit the middle ones in. Just do the far ends of each of the canopies. So here's one that we prepared earlier, as they say in a true Blue Peach style. I'll let you have a quick look at that while we thank you for joining us at Bunters Yard for this this build, and we look forward to seeing you all again very soon here at Bunters Yard. Bye for now.